Hey, welcome. Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen, and my guest and co-host is Jason D. McKean, and he is the voice of over 1 million ohm recordings throughout the world. And he has a big website that has a lot of them on it. And can you find him also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and iTunes and yeah, all your stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like Ohm Sanctuary, um, Ohm Eternity, Ohm Indigenous, Ohm uh let's see,
Serenity.
Ohm Serenity, Ohm Beats,
That's right. Ooch, ooch,
and
ooch, ooch. Om.
yeah, and then I mean there's so many.
Cosmic Ohm.
Oh, Cosmic Ohm,
108 sacred ohms.
108
I mean, if you're gonna
Ohm.
like
It's a big
say them
thing.
all, right? It's like Om
Yeah.
Shiva
Ohm,
Shakti Namaha, which on YouTube it has like 75,000 or 80,000 like views
oh,
on YouTube. Om Shiva
yeah.
Shakti Namaha. It's like it's really peaceful. You get into
Yes.
it.
Yes. Mhm. I always love that.
So
Yeah,
I'm wearing I manifested a new hat
I love that hat.
today, and I was telling my wife that I was going to get a new stocking cap because I like to have my head warm during the winter, and it's winter here. It's
Very
November,
wintry.
right?
Very wintry.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's
Los
not.
Angeles is a very wintry place.
Yeah, it's not a winter wonderland, but I said I was going to get a new stocking cap, and she said, you know what? I'm just going to give you your Christmas present early. And this is my hashtag wizard.
Oh, she gave it to you. Oh my God,
And
that's
so I won't
so
have anything
cute.
under the tree this year. I'm so
Oh,
sad. But I'm
right.
happy that my head is warm. So
Well, it's a really nice hat. It is really cute, and it's a really
it's really
cute
soft.
Christmas, early Christmas present.
That's right.
It is. So,
That's right. And who else has a hat that says hashtag wizard on
wizard.
it? All
Yeah,
right.
maybe.
It's me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So,
Pretty.
um, yeah.
Awesome.
What's your website? We said my website.
Well, mine now, yeah, my website is now moonsource.com. I changed mine around. And so it's Moonsource, MoonSource.com. So,
And you have like on Spotify and
and
Apple and
everything.
all that, don't you have like your meditations and
I don't know so
all that
much if
good
my
stuff?
meditations are out there. So, my meditations you can get on moonsource.com in the store. And then there's an actual MP3 um, area for them. And then I have videos, also classes that you can buy. And I do a lot of classes with everybody. I did a bunch of classes with Jason, and I did a bunch of classes with Matthew Engel, who's an incredible astrologer up in San Francisco. And then I did some human design classes with Jules Bonney in New Zealand. So, there's a lot of classes up there also in on my website. So if you look for them, they're right there. And yeah, and then I merchandise for the holidays. So,
The
I'm
holidays. My
fun.
God. It's
Yeah,
like
it's gonna be the holidays before.
all of the holidays coming up here.
Right, right. All the holidays are coming. All the holiday, even in Tractor Supply, where I went today to get, feed and different things for my horses. It was full of
I'm
Christmas cheer.
glad it's for them and not your kids. It's like, okay, kids, let's see, what are we gonna get? Oh, we're gonna get you a rake, and you're gonna get to rake in the yard. That's your gift.
Well, could be. I got a wheelbarrow for my eighth grade graduation. And, it was wheels. I was, had a treasure hunt to go find my new wheels. So it was a wheelbarrow.
I think I remember that.
Remember that? Mom was thinking it was so funny. Yeah, real funny.
Yeah. Well, that's no, that's a
Shouldn't
very
have been
use
given as a gift for eighth grade.
no, no, useful gift though. A wheelbarrow.
Yeah, but I've used a wheelbarrow my entire life. I don't think it as a present for somebody. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a birthday gift. It wasn't Christmas.
All right.
It was your
It was eighth grade
graduation.
graduation.
It's like, go clean something up.
And well, and then, yeah, and it was just that it was such a big deal. The treasure map. Yeah.
That's fun.
Mhm. And you wondered why I was a difficult teenager. They only gave me things to clean with, like Cinderella.
Difficult teenager. Our dad had white hair, I think, you know, by the time he was 30. So, what's our theme for today?
Oh, our theme is cycles of time.
The cycles.
Yeah.
Cycles of time. I'm big into cycles as
Mhm.
far as my book, a shameless plug,
Oh, a shameless plug. No wonder we.
Tarot Circles and
Oh,
Cycles, right?
that's right. That's why we chose this topic.
Right? How
Mm.
how
Uh,
sly.
It
No,
was.
the
That was
aspect
great. I love it. It's the cycle.
of cycles, right? That just
Yeah.
um keep moving in any way that it's like the circle, or the symbol of a circle is about a unification of things. It's about continuity. It's what it's like, what doesn't like take place in a cycle for us.
Right.
You're thinking about it. I know. It's like, well, I don't know. No, I mean, as far as like
Everything
the
cycles.
from the big pictures, the universal pictures,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
we're
you
all
see
cycles.
like the solar system, our solar system,
Right.
that has like the revolutions around the sun of all the planets, and all the gravitational fields at play there.
Right.
It's like you
The
see the
world
the
is
moon
dancing at
cycles.
all times. We are in movement at all times. Although we are all afraid of change, and the world is changing every minute,
of
every second,
every
maybe.
second.
Yeah, but we're afraid of change. Maybe because we like it so much. Hey, you hear it. Oh, Beanie's trying to get to me, but Sophia says it's off limits.
Just being protective. Yeah,
No,
it
she's being, but yeah, she just doesn't want to her area. Yeah. Mm. So,
so you have like the larger cycles of things, right? But
yes.
as far as when it comes to time,
Mhm.
right? I mean, it's like we measure time through the seasons. Like we'll break it down by the seasons, or the months, or the days, the minutes.
Everything's,
There's all in those cycles.
yeah, we're completely doing everything is circles and no, really not squares. It's funny, because you look at the squares behind you, squares. But in reality, they used to say the Native American way, is it's all the nesting, it's all the round. Everything is round because of those cycles. And we're living a cycle where we go from birth to death, and our life is quite a circle as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it's a straight line, in certain ways, like it's that straight line. But I think it's just that curvature of a larger circle, you
Yeah.
know, that we like kind of we're born, have our life, we die. We're born, we have our life, we die. It's like it feels like it's just depending on how long one lives too, as far as if you're blessed to have a long fulfilled life, it can feel like it's just this long straight road, but it's probably just along that curvature of the circle, that it just feels like it's straight.
Right. Yeah. Cycles of time, and then the cycle of reincarnation. we've been watching a lot of cycles of like time travel too. And I don't know so much that they can do that yet, but it seems like we're going speeding toward technology where that might be a easy thing to accomplish upcoming. Because we used to use the machinery as far as um, what you send out would come back before you'd send it. So it's just kind of it's coming full circle to some of that,
Hmm.
which
Yeah,
will very
it's not the easiest just to kind of wrap your head around as far as when because we do watch a lot of movies and all that that will have a storyline or an arc that it's like time travel, and it's like certainly you don't want to mess up anything in the past that would affect the future, because you would then alter the future, and it's like,
right.
and that's like some fascinating stories that have been built on that. um
Fascinating stories. It's because could you change anything at that point? Where because they do say that gravity, we're living in gravity, so we forget that time is really doesn't exist in some ways. But the thing is we're in a physical body. Whatever that means, we're in physical form. And so we do something that we call time. But on the other side, once you die, it doesn't seem like they're doing time because there's no gravity. There's no physical, they can't experience certain physical things because they don't own anything. They like to communicate with us, but that's it. They don't own anything. There's no eating, there's no sleeping, there's no human, component to it. Essentially, they're not up there having cake and cookies every day or coffee and tea.
well, then forget it.
Uh,
I have no interest then in dying.
And going, I
That's it.
know, we're all not going.
If there's no cake or cookies or coffee or tea.
I'm sure there is the first few days,
Oh,
but that's
now
it.
you're like, what? So just to lure people in, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we've got free cake and candy. Come on
Mhm.
in. And then
Yep.
once you
Yep.
get there, it's like,
I better eat the cake and candy now because it's not there. I'm
yeah.
done.
I guess someone else ate it. Sorry. You're just
But
gonna have
that's
to.
not the way to go too. We're all supposed to be, yeah, we're supposed to be able to move while we're here on Earth too. Learn to like our vegetables.
So, um, but that idea of like, because we're very like kind of strict keepers of time here, and
Yeah.
especially in modern life, where everything has an expiration date, or um, where we're just very conscious of our routines and all that. It's like, this has to be done by noon, or this, it's like we're very conscious of it, and that idea of measuring time. And what's funny is that in how some of us can be wired. I'm horrible at directions, as far as like telling what's north, east, south, and west and all that.
You
It's
are?
like
Are
I'm
you horrible at that?
awful at that.
Mm.
But time, it's like I can get it down to like at least within like 15 minutes if I've been like working, or if I'm out in the world or something like that. If someone says, "Oh, what time is it?" If I say, "Oh, it's 12:15," it's like usually in that general area. It's like, have a good perception of time. But direction, don't ask me for directions.
Yeah, for well, and I mean that's a thing of where mine is horseback riding. I feel that I learned a lot about the directions at that point. Because I'd have to feel where north is. Like, oh, the house is north from here, because I was going south. But I'd always feel the pull of, I always feel the North Pole. So I feel it. I go into to really feel it. And then if I'm down in Australia or New Zealand, I'll practice the South Pole and where the South Pole is because
Because
I think it's fun.
because I resemble Santa, I should know exactly where the North Pole is, right?
You really should.
Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've ever stayed in the North Pole like I did when I was a kid. And then I did, of course, as a teenager, late teenager, up in the pipeline.
Not the North Pole. I was never, in the Arctic Circle,
I
you
was.
know. I know, but I was never that close to it. I
Yeah,
mean, I was close enough,
right.
in
I was there
Alaska.
years. Yeah, years. And you're thinking, oh my God, am I ever going to get out of here? Yeah, it'd be like, of course, the blizzard would happen when I was up there. But no, my relief wouldn't be there. And so I'd have to work the extra days. And then you can't stay. You have to go back, even if it was like only a day, you'd have to come back the next day. That's what it was.
Oh, you didn't get an extended vacation?
No, no. No, talking about strict time,
Yeah.
cycle time.
Again, that measurement of time, it's like um
Oh
it,
yeah, we were on a strict time.
so I will say this too. I mean, and it may let in a little bit of insight about you, Tara, is that you have a phenomenon called Tara time.
Right.
And so
Not
that
many people
means,
really know that.
well, they do now. And that is like there's some people who like go by the clock, and it's like, let's meet at noon. Okay. Noon it is. And then noon rolls around and it's like, boom, it happens. Terra time doesn't like follow like that strict kind of rule.
Their time is if there was a plane to
What
catch
is it?
or if there's an appointment to keep, then I'm fine. But if it's I'll be there 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour later, or
An
earlier.
hour,
Depends
two
if
hours,
yeah, but it depends on
three
traffic and
hours.
everything. And I have a lot to do all the time. It's not like, I have 5 animals and 3 kids, one grandchild,
So
granddaughter.
so this has always been a thing. So
Yeah, before, well, yeah, but I've had kids all my life, pretty much. Yeah.
okay, well that's another story. But uh so the what I'm getting at though is that we perceive time kind of like according to our own rhythm too, right? And
Well,
what is that rhythm, right?
yes, yes. Well, I believe that's magic. It's magical, actually, not to be. I mean, it's to be good in the rhythm part of it, but not to be in the stress part of time. I think it's, to create magic every moment, and I think that's where, um, I think you're talking about like the tarot time thing. I believe in magic.
Well, it's called being in the flow of your life, right?
I'm
Where
happy all the time. Yeah.
you find your routine, your rhythm, your um so that one isn't just constantly like staring at the clock and just like um living in anxiety, living in
I
a
won't do that.
like trying to wrestle time. It's like does some jobs, or they do they demand that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So some people are wired for it too. Some people are just very quite they get super anxious about it. um
Yeah.
it,
And
Something to look at, if that's you.
well, and people used to ask me, gosh, it's so hard to read, psychic readings, how do you do it? And it's like, well, for me, it's easier than vacuuming. Washing the dishes. I really, yeah. I mean, I'd rather, because it's fun for me. I've always enjoyed, um, learning things. And then when I did, sharing them with everybody was like great too. And so I would, um, yeah, it's just fun. It's like, come on, let's do, read some cards or whatever it is. I'm all about it. And people bring me like still, I just got, is it Cat Full of Spiders? Christina Ricci. Anyway, her deck, somebody just gave it to me. It was so sweet.
Oh, is it a tarot deck or a oracle deck?
Brand a tarot deck. And then I got another Moon Cycles deck. Jack brought me that when he came down for the Halloween psychic fair.
That's
So,
right.
I'm always getting new cards to just have fun with. So it's just like, oh, let's pick one. Yeah.
That's right. We did have a lot of fun there at the first annual Halloween Psychic Fair at the Aqua Vortex.
Yeah. And I would like to have a Christmas bazaar maybe on one day. We'll have to talk about it, Jason, if you're available. And then on the next day, do another psychic fair for the holiday, around Christmas and Hanukkah. Yeah. I think it'd be fun.
Very fun. So,
So,
um,
so we'll put that in. So, but I would need probably 7 to 9 tables. Yeah, maybe we should measure it a little bit, Jace, on in the our meeting space to have the bazaar, the other um uh the shoppers and people who have something that they would like to sell.
it sounds like we're having a staff meeting right now. Should I be like making notes here?
There's a
Everyone's in on
table
this, you
behind
know?
us. Let's sit down, have a
It's like
cup of tea, and
y'all on
about this
Facebook
thing out.
Live. Why don't you throw in your suggestions
Well,
too,
I
as
was
far
just
as like
putting it out there just in case anybody wants to do it because it'd be fun, you know. Yeah,
be very fun.
it would be very fun.
Yeah. Um, yeah, when one is reading too, as far as one gets in the zone, right? And the zone is a place where time is I think it like expands, because when you're in that psychic space, the intuitive space, and also a conscious space, it's like you're looking to blend all of these together as you're crafting your message, as you're creating a message for querents. And it's like the pipeline is where it comes out your mouth, one word at a time, right? Sometimes it's like pretty rapid fire, sometimes it's kind of slow and methodical. And it is something that is it feels like when you're in it, it's like it does slow down.
Mm.
And again, our perception of time, it can be very, very sped up, or it can go like very slow.
Right. Isn't that so weird about how when it goes slow? Do you remember when you were in high school or even school, how slow it was? It was so painful. High school was so painful for almost everyone because it went so slow. And then look at since we've been out of high school. I mean, it's like, God, you blinked and where is this time gone?
I know it's been
I mean,
10
I'm
years.
like, oh my gosh, it's been, yeah, a couple.
10 years for me. I've been out of high school. I graduated. Of course, I was 40 when I graduated.
I know. I mean, it is really interesting, isn't it? How, you were painstaking. And
Yeah.
sometimes jobs are like that too. They're very painstaking. I mean, it can be rough. I mean, Beanie was sick, and I know you've had Nanda who's sick too, and it's painful. That's a painful time because you're thinking, oh my goodness, are we going to come out of this?
Yeah.
And they're both very aged dogs. And so it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah, but both of them have come out of it so far. What that means, you know, tomorrow, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's an extension of time for them,
Extension of time. I mean,
you know.
doing pretty good. Yeah, he's laying over there. So
Yeah.
Randy this morning ate both of his meals this morning. I mean, what's the problem? Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you call, like, when you're in that psychic realm, right? When you're doing like channeling or stuff like that, would you find that you measure time differently, or do you
Yeah.
even?
Usually when I'm in that time, it seems very short. It's almost like the gravity has gone away, but that's because when I do actual physical channeling with my spirit guide, a Bendo, who a lot of people know, it seems when she's taking over that it's no time at all, just none. And I go off with usually somebody I know, like one of my friends. So, I'm doing other things while she's working. So it's a very interesting, I believe that's why our contract is what it is. We wanted to explore how much knowledge we could get from the other side to, her and I. So we teamed up.
Hmm.
Yeah, to be, conduits. And she gets mad at me that I'm not working at all times, every moment of every day. But I am pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing readings like, so many times a day. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
how
it's like
fast can I go?
there's
But
always, when you're in the work, it's like there's always
yeah,
like every day, there's an aspect of it. Even if you're not doing like the channeling part, you're doing something that is related
right.
to it.
True.
I find that with tarot, it's
Yeah.
like I'm always doing something that's tarot related
Yeah.
because I am the hashtag wizard. Whoop,
Hashtag.
do that backwards.
That's right. So yeah, yeah, and I know that a lot of people are got kind of upset about the election, different things, and I say that that we believe in the universe, and you were born at this time for a reason, and so we all have to stand up to being our best selves. Period. Doesn't matter on anything else. We just have to stand up to be our best selves personally. So, I was just reading something where it was about time and um, the how they were trying to read um, emotion. Some machine was trying to read emotion, and it couldn't really read love so much as it could read authenticity. And so you must be your authentic self. And maybe that's what we need to all take with us when we leave the planet is authenticity.
Is that called a polygraph?
Well, that's true. That could be it. That could have been the machine. I was just reading an article. Oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a polygraph is
No, it was
supposed
a
to.
polygraph. They had 20 people on it. I don't know. I have no idea what it was. You know, maybe I should read it again. Yeah, put it out there. Yeah, but I really do. I've been reading all sorts of stuff too, where on Halloween I was reading in Harper's Bazaar magazine, Harper's, I guess it's called now. And it was about this guy who goes around trying to find the no frequency of any sort of wave on in the US. And so he goes to all these remote places. And it's like a thing. It's like a thing that people go off to experience no EMFs or no any sort of waves of any kind. That's what they're looking for.
Is there an actual place on the planet that doesn't have any waves on it?
But I'm sure there's not that many in America. But gosh, Brazil, there'd be plenty. There'd be plenty somewhere. Africa, Brazil, the Middle East, you could find some places. But good luck getting groceries. You're gonna have to hunt for your own food, maybe. Yeah. Good luck on the water too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like, you pack that in with you. instead of your cell phone or satellite phone.
Yeah, I mean, some things we just can't get away from. Do you join them? Do you fight it? I mean, some of this stuff, like it's such a gift, our cell phones. It's such a gift to be able to turn on your computer but there probably is shouldn't be on it 24/7. And the phone, I'm not on the phone all day. I do have animals. So I have two horses that are very demanding. One of the children, when the children call. Yeah. So I'll tell them I'll call them back.
So with the there was something that you had said too that kind of about time, how it's measured. Because you're talking about how when you go into a trance,
Mhm.
it's like you will go in and feel that you're lighter, that there's less of a gravitational pull. Um,
Right. When I'm doing channeling work, oh, it's like bam. So I would say that it feels like 5 minutes because yeah, I mean, and if I like say I was sleepy or if I hurt somewhere, like I had a little headache or I have a little, joint ache, or I don't have that after I come out of any sort of real meditation. I'm not sleepy either at all. And so it's just like, oh, that went away. And I know that with my near-death experiences when I was 8, I know that when I was talking to Abenda and the other woman, um, and her name was Francois. Anyway, but she's not somebody I see anymore. I could ask. I just really haven't. And but that seemed like a very long time. And I don't think it was a long time because how long I was dead on the operating table. Because I mean, I really flew and it was so euphoric to be going toward the light. So, and I'd lost a lot of blood, a lot. So, I um, I feel that when you are on the other side, it doesn't feel very long. So I would say that they're it's something you have to get used to when you go back, is that not being, not having the routines. And I know that when my best friends died this summer, Teresa Robinson, and I would wake up in the middle of the night and she'd be saying, "Scoot over, scoot over." And she goes, "I'm so mad that I'm dead. I'm so mad." And I'd be like, "It's gonna be okay." So I scoot over. And then I would find myself on the other side of the bed in the morning. I thought, oh, other side of the bed I never sleep on, because I was like, oh yeah, Teresa came in the night and told me.
spectral bed hog.
Yeah, I said, well, she just wanted, yeah, she wanted that side of the bed. Anyway, so yeah, and me to wake up. Yeah. But the thing is that um yeah, I should ask her on the time because I mean but she doesn't like it that she died, period. She's not happy at all. I mean she wasn't. She maybe is getting used to it now, but yeah, she just felt she had so much more to do, but she was sick for years. You know, we lost a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Do you think that i- again with the perception of time, it seems like our emotions can
oh,
affect, like if time is moving more quickly or if it's slow. Like if we're joyous, if we're um, in a state of like being like into what it is that we're doing, where we're not resisting it, seems like it can like go pretty fast, as opposed to when we get into those other places of resistance, then it drags.
Well, I find that when we're in a resistant state and, anything that we don't like, say a sickness or the relationships go south and you're sad over that, we don't trust the journey. Most of us don't really trust time. We don't trust. I mean, at that point, we may be like out of time in some way, like we had a lot of time to get it together, like we have all this information that is trying to help us, trying to tell us to eat right and to drink more water and to exercise a little. People will put it off, like, oh, I'll exercise tomorrow. Oh, no, I don't do that. I don't want to walk around the block. It's much too, tedious for me. Whatever it is. But the bottom line is, it all catches up and then it's like, oh, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. Well, and that it's not there anymore. You've lost that time because it's definitely the universe talks to us over and over and over. And that's a lot of what I teach is shamanically, like when do you tune into your life and not be tuning out? Because you got to tune in. It's- okay, so you had to go out of this relationship. Well, why did you have to go out of the relationship? Well, where were the pitfalls of the relationship? Were you living your service to your purpose of your life? I mean, were you helping others? Were you putting on a cheerful face every day? Were you just overworking yourself into the ground? I mean, what was it? So, you can say that, it's always uh our are figuring out how many minutes of every day that we should be grateful, thankful, not complaining, not creating a problem, um, and not looking back a lot. What has happened in the past is part of the shamanic journey of your existence. And you have to open yourself up to create the life that you want to live. And so the creation of the life that you want to live is something that you want to create as beautiful. You want to see it as beautiful. You want to be in the resonance of that. The grass is so beautifully green and the sky is so, if it's silver, it's beautifully silver. And if it's blue, it's beautifully blue. And this is it, like appreciate everything. And once we start to go into that appreciation and appreciation of other people, and it's not to be like a Pollyanna, like some people say, oh, Terry, you're so Pollyanna. But the thing,
Who says that?
anyway,
There are people.
yeah, there are people. Anyway, but the thing is that, you take it till you make it. And, if you start putting on that everything's a little glossier and a little prettier and a little more wonderful than it is. It just is. Those mashed potatoes before you, and so is an apple, and so is, anything that's part of your, life every day. Yeah. How about you, Jace?
Sounds like you're planning for a Thanksgiving feast there. Mashed potatoes and
Oh yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
apples for apple pie.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, Jason, for I go to mom's. So yeah. Since my grand angel will be doing something very fun. So with her dad.
Well, that sounds nice to go up to mom's and have like Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, maybe you guys can come.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. So, what did you ask me? What do I think?
Yeah, just of every day. Yeah, the cycles of time.
Well, that aspect of gratitude is, that's the first thing that um, I'm doing an evening meditation there. That's the first part.
Are you doing that like meditation tonight?
No, just for myself, my,
Oh,
my my private like meditations and all. Um, no, I'm not doing one tonight. That's like a group meditation. I'm doing something that's new though. It's not totally new. I mean, I've done it before. It's a past life regression, a group past life regression, but I'm doing it at Kathmandu Boutique
you are nice.
in Santa Monica, which I've never done that before in the back room. I've taught tarot there. I've done other things, but I've never done a past life regression. I'm going to do that at the end of the month. So
Well, very
that
nice.
that's cool. And again, like, when we're like exploring timelines and all,
Mhm.
it's like the thing about what one is either wrestling with or enhancing within their own being. It's like it can be from another time, another experience, another part of the past, right? And because it made its mark, it's indelible, it was like profound. It lives on, so if it's trauma, if it's a negative experience, it's like it happened yesterday, right? If it's a discovery of a talent, an ability, if it's something that has a positive effect, it can be like you're channeling that as if it was like when you first discovered it. And and so that time is like it has potency to it, right? And there might be times when we're just kind of circling back in on something, like we hear about things like a solar return, right? Where it's like a 30-year cycle that we like kind of get into that place of like, oh, what's next? What's the next part of me that's being
Mhm.
um that's going to unfold now, and sometimes it's an intersection of the past also that's coming into play. And so it's, sometimes it feels like it's a circle intersecting
Yeah,
another circle, right?
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna hang out with my best friend from high school next week. So you never know. Yeah, so I'm going back to high school then next week.
So make sure that you study up on your biology,
Right.
your
We were in
trigonometry.
biology together. We were in all sorts of classes together. Me and Sherry Shay. Yeah. I only had three girlfriends really in high school and Cliff.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as because we both do like past life regressions and all, right? It's like we're looking to tap into um, a pattern, a cycle that has resonance for someone, and to either help them clear it if it has a negative influence on them, or to enhance it, to build on it, if it's a positive.
Yeah, yeah, cycles of time. How are we going to spend our time? How are we going to get out of our own misery, out of our own doubts, out of our own, we can be miserable, if we don't think we have enough money or if we don't have enough time to do things in life, if we worry about our age or, anything. Instead, you just go toward what you want. You just every day, just try to make yourself better and better.
Yeah, I agree with that. And as the hashtag wizard,
Yeah.
I keep, because my I have to like go this way. It's like to focus in on what it is that you want, and to activate it. you know, to connect with it, to set the stage within yourself, that's a big part of it. And then activating that so that you're aligning realities. You're aligning your inner reality, who it is that you think you are, and who it is that you know that you can be, right? And then expressing it, activating it so that your outer reality matches.
Right.
That they're aligned, that they go hand in hand, and you move forward on that. You build on that.
Right. You do. Yeah, and I mean, somebody was talking to me yesterday about how they did a lot of cocaine when they were young. And it was like, gosh, I did a lot of, Brussels sprouts and alfalfa sprouts when I was young. That was my, drugs of choice. Oh, some green vegetables. Yeah, I mean, I was just such a nut with health food. And so it was just like, okay, yeah, would never have put any sort of poison in my body. So the thing is that, it's never too late to start. Never, never, start eating those sprouts now, Brussels sprouts and alfalfa sprouts.
That's right. Go to the store,
Yeah.
the health food store. Get those, go to the vegetable section instead of the cookie section,
Yeah, yeah, I
right?
love the cookie section too. I do. But I don't go to the grocery store. Usually it's the health food store that's the cookie section. Like because they're so much better than the ones at the grocery store, but it's still sugar. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So you got to be careful. I did make banana bread yesterday, but I made it with honey and with gluten-free
Yeah,
flour.
Sue was making something that was like a um
She's a
it
great
was
cook.
with some banana in it, maybe a little bit of flour, and then baking it and then putting a little bit of raspberry jam and then chocolate on top of that, and it was just like, oh my God, this is good.
Yeah, well,
you
she's a
know
really great cook. Jason does have a wonderful wife too. Right.
who's an amazing cook. Yeah, I mean, who's very like just experimental too with stuff. It's like
He does a
it's
really
not my forte. Sad to
the
say.
noodle master. It's not her
I'm a
birthday.
noodle master, and I can wash the dishes afterwards, which is half the battle right there. I feel like a warrior.
Right, right, right.
So yeah, it is an odd picture of me in the kitchen window. I'm sure the neighbors like looking at me in the kitchen window going, why is he doing that warrior stance over the sink?
That's right. That's lovely. Yeah.
Wielding my spatula like a broadsword.
Yes. Well, that's just, I mean, you're practicing, I guess, for all the manliness. Yes. And, it's nice to be able to cook. Take care of yourself. It's survival.
Yeah.
It is survival.
All right. So where can people find you, Tara?
Well, yeah, and we're going to have some seminars. We're going to get, we're going to have a lot more seminars. We do
What
have a
kind of
space,
seminars?
an amazing space. We would like to do a 5-day psychic seminar probably in January. So we will put that out. And, so I'll put that out there. And I can have a lot more seminars too. I mean, we can just do a lot of stuff because we do have a wonderful space for it. And so. Yeah, how about you, Jason? You're at jasondmckean.com. And it's JASON D as in Dragon Lord.
Ah!
The dragon ear. Lord. Yeah, no. No, it's Jason D.
Oh, what does the D stand for again?
McKean.
And that's on Facebook. That's on Instagram's Jason Terrell Wizard. There, I'm going to be doing again, like in November, at the end of November, in Kathmandu Boutique,
Mhm.
Santa Monica, a past life regression group, past life regression in the afternoon. So it's doable. It's a
Any
Sunday.
Japanese seminars coming up?
There's I've been doing a full moon and a new moon um meditation, tarot meditation on Instagram. That is in I'm the English part, and then I my colleague Makiono-san, she um translates into Japanese.
Nice.
So that's every two 2 weeks. Is that right?
Mhm.
Is is
Oh
that the
yeah, every two
full
weeks.
moon and the
Yeah, new moon and full moon is
in
always
the new moon?
apart. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So it's every
Yeah,
two
we're
weeks, and
going
then
towards the full moon now. It was last Friday. Last Friday was the new moon. And so in another week, we'll have a full moon, pretty much.
we're going to try something new
Okay.
in with my Japan class, where we're going to do a psychic fair online,
Mhm.
and it will be for Japanese speaking individuals. And we'll figure out the mechanics of it, but be through breakout rooms and stuff like that, all that modern technology on Zoom, and it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll give the students a chance to be on their own, to go out of the purview of the teacher, and do their thing.
Yeah.
Not that I could understand them anyway if it's in Japanese, but
All right.
it, you know
But you can probably get the gist of everything.
eh,
Yeah. Not
it's
not us, you know. I mean,
it's
I'm
not it's
not my language.
maybe
Yes,
some
ma'am.
aspects of it, you
Yeah.
know but yeah, there's that going on, and then in December I'm going to do a class in Bakersfield, Enchanted Cottage,
Mhm.
um, with where it's one of those classes that's just like you kind of make it up as you go, and you just have fun with
So we gotta
tarot.
have to have a list for that, and we'll start listing some of the classes. And Jason D. McKean, mine, moonsource.com. Anyway, talking about the moon, it is going to be full on November 15th at 24 degrees Taurus. That's it. That's huge. 24 degrees
So
Taurus.
what can we
Very
expect with
interesting.
that?
Well, it's a really intense placement that it's building something. What do you want to do when you grow up? Because Taurus is always hands-on. It's all about moving forward in your success or your career or your job. And so 24 would mean that, and it's your health too. I mean, that you're going to turn around your health, you're going to turn around your money, you're going to turn around your career, turn around your job, you're going to get on it. So, it's just more maybe of a flow toward it and being more mindful. And then in December, we have two new moons in December. If we have two full moons, it's called blue moon. But we have two new moons, which is the darkness, the dark moons.
Mm.
And so we have on the first is at 9 degrees Sagittarius. And on the 30th, we have another new moon. And that's going to be 9 degrees Capricorn. And then on the 15th, we have 23 degrees Gemini full moon on the 15th. So 15th of November and the 15th of December we have full moon. So it's become fun. Both at 15 degrees.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and it's at opposition. So, so it's Taurus for November, and then it's Gemini for Sagittarius. It's the opposition of the moon. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Tara, for
Yeah.
holding this space today.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's so nice to hang out with you, Jason.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a
Spend our time together because
hang out.
time is important. It is. It's very nice to spend good time with everyone. Yeah.
Nice wrap up.
Yeah. Lots of love, everybody. Yeah. Have a really wonderful weekend, wonderful week, and we'll see you again soon.